Hi everybody and welcome back to I Can View This All Day, and today we're going to be tackling Spider-Man 1977. James, you love a bit of Spider-Man. Did you love this?
I do love a bit of Spidey, but this was rough, man. This was a hard watch. Listen, I think you need to look at it from the perspective that this is a 1977 Spider-Man TV show pilot. And I think from that perspective, there's some really impressive stuff in here. Like, it's a good swing at it. But Jesus Christ, is this boring. And I feel like the people that made this only had, like, the most basic understanding of what Spider-Man is. Peter Parker works in the Daily Bugle. He lives with his Aunt May. He gets bitten by a spider. And that's it. They just make up the rest of it.
Yeah, you're right. It's oh, do you know what? I think this is charming. That's the word I'm going to use. Charming.
Okay.
I can't help but like the characters in it. I think the performances are pretty good. I liked the guy playing Spider-Man, Nicholas Hammond, who's the guy from Sound of Music. Dear, come on, Johnny. Dear. Yeah, let's not do that. I liked him. I liked JJ. I liked Robbie. I loved the overacting cigar chomping inspector bloke.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, oh my life, it's just to the point where even the fights let's call it action. The action is just dull as fuck. It's just shit.
There's barely any, and it doesn't make any sense. There's just these martial arts guys come out of nowhere. There's no explanation for why they're the henchmen.
No. They don't come out. Come on, James. They don't come out of nowhere. They're always strategically hiding behind like filing cabinets and bins and stuff, waiting day in, day out for Spider-Man to come through a window. And then they just kind of stand up and go, ha ha. And then they do this kind of weird look at each other for a bit. And then the most slowly choreographed, just crap fighting I've seen on anything.
It's very nice of them to go one at a time, I think, as well. Like, to give him 5 seconds to recover from one swing.
Staff wielding bad guys are thoughtful like that. Do you know what I mean? To, give him a chance. And Spider-Man's proportionate strength of a spider does sweet shit out here, doesn't he? I mean, he like hits them, they go, ow, and get back up.
These are just like 3 decent fighters. Like, these should be no problem at all. You should be able to flick one and he's like nearly dead, you know? So I don't know why he's struggling at all here.
What about the overall plot? For a TV 1977 kind of program, it was a little bit dark. You know, let's hypnotize people to 10 people or whatever commit suicide. A little bit rough.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to kind of distance from like other superhero shows that were kind of recent. Like, this isn't going for that campiness that Batman went for. They're going for adults here. You can kind of feel that.
I don't know. Some of the wall climbing was right out of the Batman
Jesus
66
Christ.
playbook.
So, like there's sort of, I think you can feel like 3 different ways that they did the wall crawling. So either he's just crawling on the floor, and like the opening where it's like this weird picture-in-picture thing with this 70s music blasting of him just clearly crawling around on a floor just with windows painted on it. Then you have just I think some of the worst like comping with green screen I've ever seen of him just like awkwardly climbing around outside of a building.
I love that because that's the bit where they've got like photographs of say a standard house, which obviously is 3D. So in terms of a house has angles and ledges and stuff like that. Not
he's just walking on a flat surface.
Yeah,
exactly.
Flat surface.
So bad.
It's tremendous.
Just horrible. But then I think like the wire work is actually really impressive in this. There's a lot of bits of people running up walls and climbing up walls really quickly, and you can see the wires, but like it's still like that's just the way you do this, I think.
The bit that got right on my tits, and it was one of these things that once you notice it, I saw it every time he was climbing, was the weird little kind of head thing he was doing and the spinny roundy thing. It was like he was doing like a weird twitch, like he would climb a little bit, a few steps, then do a little head twitch and look behind him, look underneath his legs or something, then turn a little bit to the left, turn a little bit to the right, do a few steps. It was just weird, just
like a
weird.
PS1 character model glitching out, I guess.
Yeah,
it's very strange. I will say I thought the POV shots were quite cool. Like, that's something that we saw that again in like the Amazing Spider-Man. That was something that was praised there, but here you go, there's the genesis of that, and I thought that was a cool decision to make.
We didn't get a carbon copy of his origin, but we did get a kind of version of his origin. I liked him in the lab. Did you spot the young lad he was working with had a Captain America t-shirt on?
I did, because I was looking at his face and how identical he looks to Peter. Like, they look like brothers. It was very strange. I didn't notice he was wearing a Captain America one though. That's cool. I like that.
I liked the fact that we got the origin, and then for some unbeknownst reason, almost 2-3 minutes later, you get like a play-by-play, scene-by-scene recap of the origin we've literally just watched.
Well, because some people might fall asleep during this, Peter. I think it's to remind you
yeah.
that thing happened, you know? But, like, regarding the origin, I think it's missing, like, the most crucial element of Spider-Man's origin, which is the Uncle Ben thing. To not do that. He never learns a lesson in this. He just gets the powers and decides to be a hero. And I think, especially if you're going for, like, that adult audience, the most nuanced aspect of that story, like, you just didn't bother including it all. We still have Aunt May. Like, obviously there was an Uncle Ben, but he's died already, I guess. So I just thought that was a really strange omission to have here.
Yeah, very, very odd, very odd. And Aunt May doesn't really feature a great deal in
She
this.
just shouts at him to take his allergy pills. That's it, like.
Yeah. Oh, the sneezing.
What was the point?
Of
Why was that in there? He's a bit of a scrounge. He just wants to borrow $46 off anybody. He asks everybody he meets in the movie, can he borrow $46?
Even the lady whose dad's just been in the horrific car accident, he like says, hello, I'll drive you to the hospital. By the way, can you lend us some money? What did you think about the costume? Because I loved the costume, mate. I thought the costume looked great.
Genuinely great, I think, honestly. Like, it's true to the comics. I think the eyes are a little bit weird, but it's forgivable, I think. No, great,
I like
great
that
attempt.
mirrored look.
Yeah, you like the
I like
reflective.
that mirrored look. I think it looked very cool. Web shooters.
Why doesn't he do the finger? The thwip action, like he just puts his hand out and just webs.
Shoots kind of
net.
preformed webs.
Yeah.
A net which does absolutely fuck all. It's not sticky because the web goes on them and then literally a minute, if that, they're all just, because it's the same three guys. The same three guys come run at him again. So it obviously just it literally is just
Rope.
A kind of a net, a rope, a bit of rope that he shoots, you know? But still inventive, I guess. Back to the action, because I kind of get my head over the action, really, just how god-awful it was. It's so slow and laboured. It just has no kind of... There's that one bit, I suppose, where they're in the tight corridor, and he startlingly jumps onto the roof, which is literally... I mean, they could literally lift their hands up and touch him, but they just watch him crawl over them, and he jumps down behind them, and it's like, what?
Just awful. And I think, you know what it's missing? It's missing the pow and bam that you get in Batman. Like, that's why Batman fight scenes are kind of fun, whereas when you just play it straight through like this, it just looks terrible. I also thought it was really nice the henchman to pose for a picture with him at the end of the movie.
Well, did you hear that? Because sorry. Because what he does was, at the end of the movie, he shoots his rope. I'm not calling it webs, James. I refuse. He shoots his rope and pulls the dishes off the building, but then says that that's reversed the signal somehow. I presume that's how it works. You pull a dish down and it reverses stuff. And so the henchmen have been reversed, so they're all nice now. So now they're his buddies, and they open the door for him.
But are they not being paid?
No, I don't know. A bit of trivia for you. There's a TV series and then there's 2 sequels to this. So there's Spider-Man's Back and then Spider-Man the Dragon's Challenge. Do you fancy watching them? Should we watch them in the future?
Nah, I'm alright. I have better things to do with my time. Thank you very much.
Now, to be fair, these were episodes, I think, of the TV show which they combined into movies.
They were put in the cinemas, though. These were theatrically released, sort of.
Yeah, these were theatrical releases, yeah. This actually did really well. It was CBS's highest performing show the year it was released. Made $9 million at the old box office.
Couldn't have cost much. Surely a few hundred grand. All you're doing is crashing a car and paying a guy with to climb up a building with ropes. That's it.
The most expensive scene in the entire thing, and the most dangerous, was the bit where he swings from roof to roof, which was a pretty good special.
I think so.
Special
time,
effect,
yeah.
But what they did was they filmed that at multiple angles and then used it absolutely repeatedly in the TV show.
It's so dragged out. I think any one climbing scene, or I think the reasoning is this was really expensive to make, so this has to make up a proportionate amount of the runtime of this. So like every wall climbing sequence is like 2 minutes, 3 minutes long, unnecessarily. Even when it's a guy about to jump out a window, it's like he's really taking his time jumping out that window to make sure Spidey gets up. But he climbs up past the window to the top of the building and then goes back down to get him from the top.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? You've taken the effort to put the costume on. You might stretch your legs. Do you know what I mean? The guy sat there. He's quite happy. He's chilling. You just have a bit of a leisurely climb, you know? What did you think of the villain? What did you think of
I
the
barely
old
remember
guy?
him. I don't remember his name. He was just angry businessman. Evil businessman. No villains, no recognizable villain. You didn't want to make the main guy a bad guy in Norman Osborn, and it's an Oscorp thing. You went with people are being mind controlled to rob banks. Like, surely, Craven the Hunter is not that much of a leap, in terms of realism.
Overall thoughts, James. What do you think of this movie in general?
Don't watch it. It's boring. I think just by today's standard, it's terrible. Like, really, really bad. That said, I think there's some good elements to it. Some of the effects are impressive for the time and budget that this was given. I actually really like Nicholas Hammond in the role. I thought he was not something I had a problem with. Script is a bit iffy at times, like especially when he's like being questioned. Well, why didn't you see anything? Oh, I just had my eyes closed. It's like, oh, all right then. But you know, I think if it leaned a bit more into the Spider-Man lore and like the villains and the supporting characters, this would be a lot more fondly remembered.
So you were unfairly critical of Captain America and the action in that. How does that compare to this?
This is better, I think.
No,
this
it
is
is
better.
not.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it is.
You are off your tits. There is no way the action in this or the overall plot of this is better than Captain America. For me, this is always going to have fond memories because I remember watching this when I was a wee nipper. Not when it first came out, because it came out in 1977.
Yeah.
But I remember
You'd
watching
like
some of
20
the
then,
repeats and things. Yeah, I was born in that year. Okay. That's the
right.
year that
so two terrible things were births that year. This movie and...
Fuck you, Keegan. Fuck you. Okie dokie, ladies and gents, that's I Can View This All Day with Spider-Man 1977 dog shit. Join us next time when we're going to be looking at this.
Emergency. Batman speaking. Warning all of you to brace yourselves for big news.
The biggest.
Tell them, Robin.
Holy superlatives, Batman! It's really exciting. Soon, very soon, Batman and I will be batapulting right out of your TV sets and onto your theater screens.
That's right, Robin. Our first full-length motion picture feature in color opens a whole new world of thrills.
Oh, I feel bilious. I do feel like I want to be sick. Hi everybody and welcome back to I Can View This All Day, and today we are... That's right, isn't it? I can view this all day.
Yes.
I can view this all night. Yeah. Fuck.
I can view this all night. This is better, I think.
No, it is
This
not.
is better. Yeah,
Come on.
I think it is.
You are off your tits. This came out in 1977, but I remember watching some of
You'd
the
have been
repeats
like 20
and
then,
things.
wouldn't
Yeah, I was born in that year. That's the year that I...
right. So two
I
terrible
arrived.
things were births that year. This movie and...
Fuck you, Keegan. Fuck you. Okie dokie, ladies and gents. That's okay, ladies and gents. That's no, it's not. I'll be right back. Jesus.
You never
Okie
do
doke.
the intro for I'll Be Right
I know.
Back. You should
I know.
have to say that.
Okie dokie, ladies and gents. That's I can. Fuck. Right, come on, scene. Okie dokie, ladies and gents. That's I Can View This All Day with Spider-Man 1997. Dog shit.
97?
And this is what did I say?
97, you said. 77. One more time.
Okie dokie, ladies and gents, that's I Can View This All Day with Spider-Man 1977 dog shit. And we'll be right back. Join us next time when we're going to be looking at this. Batman 66.
Yeah.
Smashing.